Well, currently my favorite 22 host is probably the Taurus TSX or TX or something 22. 16 round mag, striker fire. The trigger's good. Takes an RMR. I like that one a lot. I like the CZ little bolt guns, but there's lots of good, like the 1022, the tactical solution stuff and all, but I like that little Taurus pistol right now. Probably. I don't know, man. I haven't done it. Well, maybe I did back in the day. It's probably not warranted for it, but if you've got a long barrel, it's probably fine. Yo, yeah, I'm hyped for it. I think somebody told me you got the bolts in the other day. So we'll have 6 arc here before too long, or at least conversions, maybe guns. And then also 6.5 Grendel. So we'll have those. It's just magazines the only bitch with those. But no, it's discontinued. There might still be some available. It's a cool can. It's really quiet. Direct thread with the taper mount like we do on our barrels, and we did it at SIG, and you see HK doing it now. I mean, it's really the way to go, but, I just haven't put enough effort into, I guess, marketing it. And, you see the cherry bombs copied by everyone now, and that's the mount everyone uses. And, maybe eventually all the commercial market, all you guys will get on board with direct thread with a taper, and you just leave the silencer on the gun, get one for each gun. But no, if you want one, you find one out there, you better buy it. I don't know, honestly. I don't recall. I'm in these meetings and involved in the decisions, but kind of once we decide, then, I just sort of put it out of my mind. So info@liveqordie.com or sales@liveqordie.com can answer those questions. I'm not sure if we're doing direct to customers now or not, honestly. The best I've ever used is the Barnes Bullet, the 70 grain TSX. Woo! Even out of a short barrel, which is what it was designed for. It's phenomenal, but I'm sure there's several good ones. I don't use 5.56 a lot, honestly, at this point. Short barrels, 300 blackout's better. But we are coming out with the Honey Badger in 5.56, and so I have shot some things in Africa with a short barrel 5.56 recently, and I used the Barnes 70 grain, and it shocks me every time I use it on something. I don't know what that means. Send me a picture of it or something, DM it, and I'll answer. But my guess is no, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. Value, I don't really know. If you mean cheap, I'm not sure, but the SIG ammo is generally been pretty good. Hornady stuff is good. Gorilla, we've used it a fair amount. Use it for testing. I think we use Gorilla for function firing the guns. But I don't know about cheap. I know like the S&B stuff is crap, but sort of whatever you can find and tolerate, I guess. Yeah, it's not necessary. Again, you don't see them on your MP5 or your Glock. It depends on conditions. And that was, a military thing. We don't find it necessary, but we use forge receivers that are set up for it for the Sugar Weasel, where the Honey Badger receivers are billet and they're all custom. We can do what we want. So there's still a dust cover on the Sugar Weasel because it's a little more, basic. No, it's ridiculous. It's not going to offer you any improvement, except it'll be heavier and it'll get really freaking hot. Because when people say SD, generally what they mean is you can, you vent the barrel so the gases exit early, don't push the bullet to supersonic speeds. You can't do that with 5.56, it's too fast. But if you just mean having the silencer under the handguard so it looks cool, no, the handguard will get too hot. It's not the right thing to do with that. Yeah, I'm sure you guys could do it at the same time. Just hit up info@liveqordie.com or sales whenever you're ready. I think it depends on what you mean. On the 300 guns, the defensive rounds are for hunting. The Barnes 110 is incredible. Hornady's got some good rounds. And with subsonic, the Hornady Sub X, the Gorilla stuff, SIG makes some good bullets and loads for it, discrete ballistics. Kind of whatever you can find works well for you. I don't find that there's much of a difference. There's probably an argument that the sugar weasel shoots softer, but I haven't really noticed. And the sugar weasel can have a stock or a brace that's maybe a little more comfortable than the honey badger, but the honey badger's, smaller and lighter, and when you retract the stock, it's shorter. And to me, that depends on your ammo, optic, and your abilities. To me, I've shot deer to about 300 yards with it. Barnes 110 is great. Subsonic's probably going to be about 100 yards, maybe a little more. Man, that's funny. I would love to, because that CGS can, that Helios that we tested, and that Huxworks flow-through stuff, they're fucking horrendous. I mean, they're 9mm unsuppressed pistol loud with fireballs. It's stupid. I don't know how you guys all bought those things. And for like $1,200, man, there is no way I could buy all those things back. I'd be broke. And maybe we could work some sort of program for something. I'd come up with something creative, but just don't buy into all that bullshit hype of these little companies. Yes. Definitely yes. Yeah. I'm too old now to say never, but that just makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. I don't want to do that. Not to say that we won't at some point, but yeah, we're shipping guns like that now, so we'll have uppers when they're spare, when we, have enough to a surplus for the guns, and we'll sell uppers as well. I mean, that's always been the plan. I'm not sure if it ever makes sense, but we'll see. I mean, we're going to continue to explore fast twist and, bullet design, and take each caliber into consideration and handle it separately. And, kind of at Q, the best thing wins, not necessarily one person's idea or the first idea that we have. Whatever's best is best. But traditionally, game twist hasn't offered much. The military. Man, silenced 22s and single shots and all, they're fun. Yeah. Man, these young kids not thinking 22 is cool. Silenced 22 is about the most fun you're going to have with a gun. Well, it's already anodized, and any company that tells you they can strip it and re-anodize it, they're lying. It never works. You can Cerakote it. I don't particularly care. You can Rust-Oleum the thing if you want. I would do it together and not mess with the threads and the tapers. You're going to end up with issues if you do that, probably. But yeah, you could Cerakote it, sure. Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to start shipping the guns sometime. The plan is guns first, then uppers. So conversions for everybody that has the 300 blackout guns. That's kind of the plan. So it'll be a complete upper with a carrier. Yeah, man. Well, it has an adjustable gas block. Man, it's going to be way quieter than without the silencer. I mean, 5.56 is loud, but I saw that new dead air can, and it's pretty much a copy of the M4 2000, which I spoke about before. We just tested all these 5.56 cans, and the M4 2000 is still the quietest thing. So it makes sense that Dead Air's Sandman's kind of failed, and groups they sold them to started using M4 2000, so Dead Air made a Sierra 5, or whatever they call the thing, that's a M4 2000 copy. So we'll see. I mean, the 5.56 Honey Badger we're testing with both, but adjustable gas block, you can tune it for whatever you want. Man, I hope so. That's the plan, and we're still testing it. I mean, it's going to be a simple mount that everyone's copied. Our quickie mount with flash hider and muzzle brakes available, and it'll be a traditional baffle at some point in the silencer, and there may be a 3D printed component for the first couple blast baffles or blast chamber. But I don't know, we probably have 25 prototypes that we're working through. So we're going to do the thing that we like the best at the end for sound, flash, size, weight, reliability, just usability, not some stupid 155 dB thing that's loud and we can say it's flow through. Stupid. Well, I've killed kudu, lechwe, zebra, and animals that are 3 times the size of a whitetail at 250 yards. So, I mean, I think whitetail, it's a 300 meter subsonic killing gun. Get a load that's shooting good and get your dope to 300 and do it. If you put the bullet on target, whether it's at 1 meter or 1,000 meters with the subsonic, the bullet doesn't slow down. It's going to penetrate, it's going to expand, it's going to perform if you have a good subsonic expanding bullet. So definitely 300 meters. We limited it that because we think the bullet flight time, because it's subsonic, is very slow. So it's like shooting 308 to 1,000 yards. So beyond 300, you really got to know your distance, and it gives the animal time to move from the time you fire the shot. Yeah, we've been talking about it. I imagine we will. I don't know. Well, I mean, we don't have any plans. We've just been discussing it. But after it came up the other day, in our new facility for Q Creative, I like the idea of having a store there. We have the room, so whether it's there or somewhere else. But yeah, I imagine we will at some point. Absolutely not. If I weren't using a silencer, I would 100% have it on my gun. It'll just save, your eyes from popping out of your head when you shoot that thing unsuppressed. I don't know. Check with sales or info at liveqordie.com. 9.69 inches in fast twist. It's a cool gun. Yeah, it is. We haven't settled it yet, but it'll be faster than 1-7. So we'll see. Doing testing now. The idea is for people that think you need 12 inch or 11.5, the gun is completely reliable at this barrel length, and the faster twist makes up for the linear velocity that we're losing by going shorter. But trying to keep the gun compact and lightweight, we're not trying to shoot 600 meters with it. We're trying to make it practical for what the honey badger is designed for. Which should definitely work subsonic. Try at your own risk with the supersonic. I think eventually you'll probably see black, and you'll see different links, and you'll see M-lock, the sling swivel stud thing. You'll see 1913, all those variations. I think so. We'll see, because we're doing guns with it. So 5.56 and the honey badgers will start to ship with it. And then the uppers that we sell for 5.56. The last thing we'll do is, once there's surplus, is to sell just separate carriers. But, maybe it'll be something like if people own a honey badger. Well, I'm not even going to say that because you guys will be emailing everybody. They'll be available at some point. I don't know about this year, but probably, hopefully. Yeah, we'll probably do Rumble at some point, but you hate YouTube. Man, I'm sorry. I don't like any of it. But, we have so many resources and so many people, and when we get around to it, we get around to it. You're missing out if you don't. Just suck it up, watch it on YouTube, or listen to it on Spotify or something. Yeah, we will at some point. Guns are shipping now, so we'll have uppers at some point. 9.69 inches. Probably not. That'll probably be a sugar weasel thing. The honey badger is meant to be as compact as possible and as lightweight as possible. And I guess that depends on the budget. I like SIG's ammo, Gorilla's ammo. I don't even know who all makes it, honestly. But, whatever you can find that runs in your gun. I honestly just use whatever we're testing guns at the shop with if I'm shooting target. And then I've got a couple loads that I like for hunting or defense. So I don't really get into the, what's the cheapest thing or whatever. 100% worth the wait. If you can't have the silencer yet, get it. Yeah, it'll save you a lot of the concussion. Puts all that downrange and away from shooter and spotter. So I like it. It's a good product. Man, I don't know. I don't really do that stuff. I just get a silencer for the gun that I want. Using steel and aluminum 9mm can on short 5.56. I don't know. It's not something I would do, but yeah, nobody wants it more than I do. So yeah, we're doing it. It's coming. Trust me, I want it because I want all the monies. every time, unless you just want to shoot farther with supers. I mean, sub 8 inch is probably the best at any distance. But the 12 inch, I like it a lot better than 16. But, you know, with the 8 inch with supers, I'd call it a couple hundred meters probably. And with the 12 inch, you know, it's probably 400 meters or so. Subs, doesn't matter. Well, I don't know what you're asking, but we've got kind of a vendor that delivered some shit barrels, so we're having to sort through all that. So we're working through those issues, but other than that, I mean, I don't know what you're asking, but when we put them online, they sell out instantly. So we're trying. We'll get there. Yeah, I probably could. I mean, but your tattoo artist could probably do it better. I don't know. DM me some ideas of what you're thinking, and I'll see if it's something I think I can, you know, do justice. And if you like it, use it. Yeah, DM me today, because I'm actually doing some of that sort of stuff. So, yeah. I don't know. That's probably not a good question for me, because I just usually use the lightest, most compact thing. Like, I like a Surefire light pretty good that I've got. I don't even know the model of it. The companies will send me stuff a fair amount. I don't like when it's big and heavy. And I only use a laser on my gun if I'm using nods. So, but I know EOTech's got a new one out. I know B. Myers has that one. I'm not sure who else. I'm just kind of ignorant to that stuff, honestly. It's like when I need it, I get it to use with night vision or thermal, and I keep it until somebody gives me something else if it works. So, but traditionally, I just go with light and compact. And I don't know, I guess you're using nods, so you need a laser, or you just want to shoot from the hip. Well, I don't engineer. And I did go to college, but not for engineering. But I'm relatively mechanical, I guess, in creative. I do primarily, I pick the projects and I come up with the big picture stuff that we want to do. But Q's got a pretty big actual mechanical engineering staff that are all degreed in that, not pretengineers like in most of our industry. So, you know, we work well together. I work in that department and with those guys, and you know, usually push and challenge them. And it's a collaborative process with all those guys, and it's great. And I think, you know, you see it in the products. That's how we can make a 4.5 pound gun that's a pound lighter than everything else that everybody else makes, as one example. But I don't know, we're just creative. Now, I don't know if we will, but I'm actually talking to a couple of companies right now that want to license it. So maybe there's hope there. Or I don't know. Again, I'll never say never, but I would like for one of these bigger companies to license it and be able to make it more affordable for everybody. Because it's a cool chassis. I mean, the thing's like 2 pounds. It's lighter than everything. And it's just what you need for like a utility gun. Yeah, the steel cans have different names. Boy, what a fun process that is. We've named them all. And we are going through doing all the graphic arts and all right now for the boxes and stuff like that. So it's a pretty fun process. That's a part of the job that I really like. And again, that's another collaborative thing with you know, the creative people and marketing and at the company. So I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, it's different than stuff we're doing now, but I mean, you'll know it's Q when you see it and when you hear it. The FG42. It's not finalized yet, but it's probably 1 3/4 inch, maybe a little over. It's probably going to be 10 ounces or less, probably 6 inches or less. It'll be nitrided. What else you got? Specs links, outside diameter coatings. Yeah, so that's it. So we'll see how it ends up, but it's going to be usable. So it's something you're going to want to use without having to double up on your Ear Pro. So it's not just for the gram. It's going to be for using. I don't know. I doubt it. We're probably not going to do a lot of unnecessary things ever. Knurling I like when it's done well, but knurling is in production is something that's easy to get screwed up. And, you know, knurling dings and then gets flat and it's not as grippy and it's ugly. So if I can ever just get rid of that material and save you guys the weight, that's what I would prefer to do. But who knows? I don't know. I doubt it. We'll sell uppers to begin with. If there's a demand for it or a reason for us to do it, we'll do it. But there's no plans for it now. Not settled yet, but we'll see. I mean, the benefit is shorter barrel with as much energy on target as longer barrels. That's going to always be the benefit for us doing fast twists. The other part is if you use longer bullets, you should get better dispersion. Both, man. Both. Why? Why do people ask this all the time? Why would you pick one? The boombox. The boombox is 8.6, 308, 6.5. Shorty stock. Yes. Well, I mean, I hope to never stock them. I hope to get them and sell them all. But yes, we understand that there is demand for them right now, and we have upped production, and we have sold out, and we are making more. So, I hear you. Yeah, have been for like 6 years. There's this group called ATF, and they said we shouldn't do that. Soon. It's way past due. Yeah. I mean, I shot a 710-pound pig with it. The Barnes 110's legit, man. But I don't know if that's big animal to you, but there's not too many things in North America I wouldn't shoot with the 300 blackout with the Barnes 110. So a guy named J.D. Jones did 300 Whisper, and that was around for a while, and there was some interest for something like that for the military. The problem with what J.D. Jones had done with 300 Whisper was he was using, well, there's a couple, but the primary one, 308 projectiles, and they're the wrong O-job, the wrong shape, so they don't feed reliably in an AR, or not to reliably enough for the military. And so they asked us to take a look at it, and I did it. We made the right O-job, the bullets of the right shape and length to feed reliably for semi and full auto, and that's 300 blackout. So it's kind of like 223, 5.56, but a little different. And then commercialized it, and that's what happened. And I originally contacted J.D. Jones, the guy that did 300 Whisper, but he wanted $600 a gun. So no, we didn't do that. So we fixed the problems, and this, it's the reason it's successful. J.D. Jones knows how to shoot, knows how to load, but wanted to control everything, and the cartridge wasn't ready for prime time. And yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of haters, YouTube or like other forums. They want to talk shit, like jealous little girls. We didn't set out to do cartridges. We're just trying to solve problems. And at the time, really trying to help. This was during the war, and we were trying to help those guys. Yeah, so the Thunder Chicken and the Trash Panda are wonderful in 5.56. That's why when you buy one, there is a half 28 cherry bomb in the box. The Trash Panda in our 5.56 silencer testing that we recently did, the Trash Panda was like the second best silencer sound-wise, which is a 30 caliber can, but out of all the 5.56 cans that we tested. And there was one new Surefire one that was good. The original Surefire one sucks and is loud, but they did one where they put a lot more baffles in it, and it's also pretty good for sound. But the Trash Panda and Thunder Chicken are probably two of the quietest 5.56 silencers available. Yeah, I think they're on our website. I mean, whatever makes sense. I don't really have aspirations in that regard. I just want to innovate and market and do things that the industry needs that aren't there already, or something we can do better. Ooh, 2 5.56. There's, I think, 3 8.6 cans. There are 2 or 3 30 caliber cans. I don't know. I mean, it's a full lineup. There's probably 10 silencers. Well, we've sold them more than one time. I'm reading your question correctly, but yes, we're about to ship some more or drop some more kickstands, and we're about to do real production of them. We didn't anticipate the demand, I think, that we're receiving, which is cool. So thank you. But also because we're doing 1913 and M-Lock and the sling stud mount. I really love that product. It's wonderful. I finally have a bipod that I don't care to take off my gun. The point was to control the manufacturing. You know, I've said it several times before, but when I was a kid and got in this industry, there's only like 2 companies that made mil-spec carriers. Now there's like 20 companies that make carriers, and most of them suck and they're not mil-spec, and you don't know it until you get them and you QC them. So we reject a ton of them, and you can get them cheap and easy when, you know, there's not like a huge demand on ARs, like when it's not an election year. But when there is, then you can't get carriers, you know, like SIG or PSA or whoever buys them all. So it was a way for us to do an improved carrier without using all of the outside processes of like hard chrome and stuff like this, where we can hold tolerances tighter than they could when that thing was developed out of a more reasonable material. And then we could change it. The back end is modular and we can do any bolt bounce or lightweight or whatever. Yeah, it's what it was made for. Well, that'll vary with barrel length as well, but honestly, to 300 yards, I don't even consider it. So at 400 yards, I start considering it, and I'll hold, especially if it's a 16-inch barrel. But 300 and in, I don't do it. Well, I don't want to misspeak, but we provide the stocks for them, and so if it's one for their Ghetto Blaster or whatever, it's the same as the Honey Badger. The stock part is our stock, so it should work. Yeah, so I just spoke about it. So we have different options, so we can go different lengths because it's modular, it's 2-piece. So for the Honey Badger, those carriers are shorter than a normal one, and so for the new boom box, we can add a buffer into it. We can add any bolt mounts. We're able to do 5.56. We can change the weight, materials of the back end of it, and just hold tighter tolerances. And we can control it where, like I was saying earlier, most of the carriers on the market are shit. And if you go and actually QC them and measure them to the mil spec, they're incorrect. And it causes lots of bottleneck issues. And it's just a pain. You can get cheap carriers, but when we're doing production, if we have to reject half of them, you know, it's better for me to pay more for them and not have to deal with that kind of crap. It's just 300 blackout. Best I've ever used is Barnes 110 bullet. Yeah, it works. So it's modular, so the back end can be changed out. So we have standard mil spec, which will be the Sugar Weasel, or boombox, or shorter for the Honey Badger. Yeah, I like lever actions, but I mean, it's been done. I don't see a reason for Q to do one, or where it fills a niche in the industry, or a new capability or something that a soldier or a hunter or someone doesn't have. Yeah, it's welded titanium. You can put an ultrasonic cleaner. I don't really know what you're gaining unless you're shooting a lot of rapid fire rounds, thousands of rounds. I would just leave it alone. Yeah, they'll both be available commercially. It's just the Lefty's got some stuff in it that at this point, me testing all the cans that they've adopted and that have been part of the solicitations, I mean, they suck for the average consumer. I like to think ours is going to be better, but, I'm building the Southpaw because it's the silencer I want. Flow through. Okay, everybody listen to this. The CGS can is as loud as a 9mm unsuppressed pistol. So is the Huxworks, this flow through bullshit. So here's what you can do. You can take a regular can, your M4 2000, the Trash Panda Surefire can, put a 1/2-inch hole through the bore. It's the same bolt velocity or back pressure, and it's the same sound at the muzzle. It's stupid. So, do you want to wear ear protection, or do you want to look cool on Instagram? Like, what are you trying to do? Oh, the second version, the Mark 18, had a longer rail. And so with the flash hider we submitted for the SOCOM trial, the silencer, when it's seated on the flash hider, would hit the handguard and wouldn't seat all the way. But we beat the Surefire can that they brag about the SOCOM contract, and on every single gun it was able to be tested on, just not the Mark 18 Mod 1 or whatever it was. And that's my fault. We didn't have that version, didn't realize the handguard went as far as it did. It was new at the time. And Surefire won by default because we were disqualified. So the can then was the SR5. So it was an updated version of the M4 2000. It was a great can. And it beat the Surefire can on every other firearm. Yeah, it works on it. We just got Radian to, I think, shorten it and then to make it not as thick so it was a little more low profile. But yeah, it'll work on any AR. No, I could have. I've seen 2 or 3 during the day, which is pretty rare, but it's in Mozambique and you can't shoot honey badgers in Mozambique. You can do it in South Africa, but you have to like bait them and stay up at night and use either night vision or white light. And, I don't know. I like to have a sundowner and have some beers rather than stay up late and hunt. I've done that a bunch and I'm getting old. I like the party side of hunting. Well, I think because they are. It's called a silencer for a reason. And everyone that we've tested of theirs is loud as hell, or big as hell and heavy and expensive. It's just doing that 5.56 testing that we just did. It's as loud as a 9mm unsuppressed pistol. It's horrible. Like, if you want flow through, just don't put a silencer on the gun. You're wearing Ear Pro anyway. Yeah. I mean, whether it's not EDMing or it's they're heavy or they're loud. Yeah, I'm just not impressed. You know, they do 3D printing and everybody thinks that that's awesome. But, you know, that Josh kid's not an engineer. He doesn't know how to take full advantage of 3D printing. So it's stupid. All his baffles are the same thickness, same angles. It's just minor league shit. I mean, it depends on the scenario. I mean, if you're looking to kill shit, supersonic is generally going to be more effective, and it gives you you have more latitude for, you know, shot placement and distance and things like this. If I know my yardage and I need to be very quiet, there's a lot of good subsonic options. But if I'm just looking to kill shit, that Barnes 110 is the stuff. Yeah, that's a good question. I think probably, yeah. The 300 blackout uppers will become available as well. Yes, I said earlier, I think we just got the bolts in for it. I haven't seen barrels yet. I know we've built a couple in the past. But yeah, that and 6.5 Grendel, they're both coming. Yes, new mystery shirt. It's good. I'm happy with this one. I mean, not everyone is going to be happy because, you know, there's always some people that bitch. But yeah, it's coming very soon. No clue. I don't even know that I know what that is. I don't know about restocks or ETAs. Like, email info@liveqordie.com. Yes, that's why it comes with a half 28 cherry bomb for 5.56, and it is one of the better metering 5.56 silencers available. It beats most of the stuff you guys think are cool. Man, it's a low visibility assault weapon. Put your nose on the charging handle with that one. Or the Sugar Weasel's a good option as well. I don't think so. Most of that stuff that we do is just a one-time. We do it just because, and we release it, and there's the amount that there is. So if you want it, get it when we do it. It's sort of like the G-slings or mystery shirts or other things that we do like that. It's just, we do it, you know, as a creative exercise or to do something for you guys, and it is what it is. Why? Message me why. Man, before I was on the internet, I read books. There's a lot of books that you could read about firearms, that you would learn a lot. Yeah, I don't know, I guess that's what I did. mean, to me, I use the trash panda a lot just because I use 30 cal and 6.5. If you're just hunting and stuff, the jumbo shrimp is totally the option. The thunder chicken, if you want the quietest thing, don't mind the length and weight, is excellent silencer for it as well. He will be in Africa shooting buffalo and other things. I don't understand the question. What's the problem? Whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to be able to shoot at distance, get something, a mount, or one of our rails with a lot of cant, like a 6 or a 12 mil, 20, 30 MOA. And then, something with a Horus reticle or BDC in it would be good. If you want to shoot far, then you need some magnification. Why don't you just get a 16-inch barrel? I don't get this LARPing stuff. It's just not me. However, I don't know, what barrel length did you say? 14.5? I bet the new steel can, like the flash hiders, will probably, they might make it 16. Right now, maybe Peace of Mind or RSR or Silencer Shop. I think they suck. They're loud, they're heavy, they have a complicated mount. I mean, they're nothing special. Everybody getting, on this flow-through stuff, you have big, long, heavy silencers that flash a lot and are loud as hell. I think it's stupid. I think they took a big step backwards. And the Army will be keen to that right now. But, the thing is, soldiers or people aren't going to use these things. I mean, you guys will, the LARPers put them on IG with their double ear pro shooting a Huxworks or CGS because I think it's the cool guy thing, and it's just stupid. It's heavy and loud and adds length to the gun. If you got to wear ear pro, just shoot without a silencer. If you hold those gases so they don't enter the atmosphere and make a lot of noise, you're going to get some gas through the action.